Greetings, sports fans, ASMR Sports, back with another video here with the new recording setup. Today we're going to do gum chewing, which is the kind of norm for this channel. And we're going to open some now these are 32-year-old baseball cards. Pretty amazing, 1990 Topps baseball. These are cello packs that have 31 cards and a stick of gum inside. Some of these are sealed pretty nicely. Some of them kind of the seal is starting to come off a little bit, like this one. So that's why I took these out of some boxes they were in and just sort of thought it would be fun to open them. So we'll have some nice crinkly sounds today for those. And today's chewing subject is double bubble apple flavored bubblegum. Gum is in the middle, and it has seen better days. Wow. I have to vacuum this mat here. So there's really a couple of cards that you're looking for in here. There's a Frank Thomas draft pick rookie card and a second year Ken Griffey Jr., which is his first Topps card. It has the rookie cup logo on it. Keith Hernandez, Mets star. last card. He had a very long career all with the Royals there. David Cohn, now announcer for the New York Yankees. Alright, well, there you have it. One pack down. I don't really know how many of these I'm going to do, but I'll let you know when I figure it out. Kind of annoying sound. Oh, gum is also pulverized in this one. Juan Gusto. Fat comes. Man, we're really not getting many stars. Man, if we had a single star in this pack, I'll say some of these cards are very bold color-wise. They have a lot of high contrast colors. Some would call them loud, but it was a unique design, I'll tell you that. Brett Saberhagen was a heck of a pitcher for a good stretch of his career. Well, there's a star, Rock Ramsey's in the Hall of Fame. So wow, that was a pretty lackluster pack, I have to say. time where the Yankees had a new manager every year, it seemed, and every other year it was, Billy Martin, until he passed away. So this draft pick card is an example of the subset that Frank Thomas's rookie card is in. Earl Cunningham did not have much of a major league career. If anything, I don't know what he ever did. This is going to be his high school batting record, so he was a high school draftee. But 1990 was the first year that Topps put, like, anybody who was not a major league roster player in the set, except with the exception of 1985 Topps had a subset in it consisting of players on the 1984 Olympic team from the U.S., which featured a number of guys who were subsequently drafted and working their way through the minors at the time, and that set famously includes Mark McGwire and who I want to say I feel like I just read something about how there was a guy, I want to say it was like Randy Johnson, but they didn't, Topps did not put the entire roster. It was a select few from the 84 USA Olympic team that they put in this set that appeared in 85 Topps. And so McGwire was kind of the big. I'm just looking through on my computer. I'm looking through a list of the guys on that team. So Sid Akins was a pitcher. I think he was in that set. Flavio Alfaro was on the team, but he was not in that set. Don August was a pitcher, and he was in that set. Scott Bankhead was in that set. Bob Caffrey was not in the set. Will Clark, I know, was not in that set. Mike Dunn. Anyways, so, okay, here's the guys that were on the 84 team but did not make that set. Barry Larkin, Hall of Famer. Bobby Witt Sr., B.J. Surhoff, Oda B. McDowell was in the, so I don't know, I think it's funny, Barry Larkin is news to me. I think it might have been just Will Clark I was thinking of, but he did not have a card in that set. Anyways, kind of a fun, I have an 85 Topps complete set that I've gone through kind of as one of the videos on this channel, and that would show you all of the those Olympic cards from that set if you were interested. Gotta say, these packs kind of suck. I guess this is only the third one, but not too many of the big name Hall of Famers in here. Now, this was about the time that a lot of guys were starting to retire. I can't remember who would have retired, in 89, so they wouldn't have a card in this set, but maybe it was more than usual. Yeah, totally struck out on that pack. started to kind of get nostalgic for 88 Fleer, which has to be one of the biggest dud products, you know, in hindsight. But when that stuff came out, it was fantastic. There's so many, you know, rookies that were had the attention of the collecting world in that set. The biggest name of all, of course, being Greg Jeffries. His rookie base cards were going for, not that they had parallels back then, but, you know, just a regular old card of his from 88 Fleer was going for like $8. I remember very vividly. And, you know, you could probably sell them for $5 or $6 to dealers, you know, who could quite easily sell them for $8 to the public at card shows. So I used to get, you know, Greg Jeffries cards by pulling them from packs or trading from friends. And then I would take them to the card shows and trade them in for unopened packs, because 88 Fleer packs were probably going for 50 cents. So you get a, you know, 2-3 Greg Jeffries, you got yourself a box. Then you go get, you know, a couple more Greg Jeffries, and never mind the Sam Horn cards in there. Huge rookie out of Boston. Gonna make big waves in the major leagues. Ozzie Smith All-Star. Oh, we got that Ozzie Smith, but no sign of Ken Griffey Jr. Or Frank Thomas. The Quiz, Dan Quisenberry. Oh, Junior. Wow, I don't know what to say. I mean, is it possible these have been gone through? Sure, it's possible. Is it likely? No, I don't think so. Not at all. These packs seem pretty clean to me, and you're saying, oh, well, they're like, a lot of them are partially open. Yeah, that's just because, like, the elements are quite impactful on, you know, the condition of the cello packs in particular of the world. So they just get kind of, you know, deteriorated. But nothing seems like a, you know, fraudulent seal or anything. rookie. Very nice. Okay, so finally we've got some star power. That's what I'm talking about. Now next I want a done, man. I think this is probably gonna be the last pack I open. Just because these are kind of boring. Hazmat team to get rid of. Griffin Ventura, that was like his first non. Actually, you know what? As I'm saying this, I realize I think what I said was wrong. I think in '89 they did draft picks too, because I feel like he had a draft pick there. Now I have to look this up. Yeah, they did in '89. So I think '89 was the first year. Jim Abbott was a draft pick then too. So I stand corrected. I apologize for that, and apologize to anybody who was screaming at their screen saying, "What are you talking about, you moron? There was draft picks in '89 tops." Tyler Houston, another guy who never really did much. Okay, now I have to, a lot of times there's this book where a guy takes a pack of 86 tops baseball cards, he opens it up, just a random pack, and basically what he does is hunts down all of the players that are in that pack, and goes to interview them and sort of asks about their life and what they have done since their baseball career, and how everything kind of panned out and stuff like that. I can't remember what the book is called, but if anybody's interested, I'll look it up. And a lot of times when I get a card of somebody, like this guy, I'm really curious because, so he was a number one draft pick, which means he was in the first round. I don't think he was number one overall. I mean, he may have been, but the draft pick set is the guys who are drafted, as the first pick from their team, so they weren't first overall. Anyways, this card, this guy may have made it to the big leagues. I don't remember him being in the bigs, but this was not a time when I was watching a ton of baseball. And who knows when he broke through, if he did, but, to have a card of a guy so early in their career, just when they're drafted. And this guy was a high schooler, so he was, gonna need more development than like somebody drafted out of college. But this card is so early, in their professional baseball career. Could be 4 or 5 years, maybe longer, right? Some guys go like 10 years in the minors before they make it, if they make it at all. And the vast majority of players who get drafted do not make it to the big leagues. When I see a card, and to have a card in a 1990 top set is a big deal, right? Because it's a bunch of guys who, have made the bigs, and then you who just graduated high school last year. So it's like kind of a crazy thing for such a young player, at least back in the 90s. And these days, they got players, they get like 15 cards of a guy, 2 years after he, graduated the 6th grade. So it's different now, but back then it was really a big deal to have a card. So many players drafted, in 1989 never ever had a baseball card because they never made it to the bigs, and there just weren't sets for like prospects back then. I mean, there was minor league cards, but no major sets. So I look at a card like this, I'm like, man, I wonder, did this guy just maybe spend a year and low A ball and fizzled out, and he's got a baseball card, There's something very few people can say if they were baseball players in 1990. So I want to kind of look up. His name sounds kind of familiar, so I kind of feel like he maybe did something, but I could be wrong. Okay, yeah, so he did make it to the bigs. I thought I had heard of him, but played 8 seasons from 1996 to 2003 for the Braves, Cubs, Indians, Brewers, Dodgers, Phillies. So he did kind of crazy. 2003 was the end of his career, and this card's from 1990, so he took like 6 years to make it to the bigs, and then played for actually a pretty, decent stretch there, 7 years. I mean, it's not nothing to sneeze at. But 1,805 career at bats and 479 hits. So good number of hits there. Yeah, what can you say? So very. Now I kind of want to look up that other guy who was a draft pick, Earl Cunningham. I remember when this set came out, like that card was pretty good. Like I think he was. Oh man, can't even find this guy. Oh, there we go. There's an article on Baseball America about Earl Cunningham. And a nice video. Good thing I have my sound off because it's auto-playing. Drafted by the Cubs, failed to advance past high A. Earl Cunningham. This article is from 2019 when he was 49 years old. Yeah, so look him up. Look for that Baseball America article on Earl Cunningham if you're interested. I'm guessing if you're a Cubs fan, his name is pretty familiar. Cubs prospects, I think, have a long kind of history of, getting a lot of attention and sort of fizzling out, at least from this era. I'm thinking of you, Jerome Walton, and Dwight Smith. Eddie Murray, Hall of Famer. He had a short stint with the Dodgers at the end of his career after playing with the Orioles for the vast majority of it. And Tony Gwynn, well, that's funny. Eddie Murray and Tony Gwynn sort of strike me as very similar players, extremely talented hitters. Who played vast majority of their careers for the same team. Tony Gwynn was on the Padres for his entire career, I believe. But Eddie Murray, I think, had, he was much more of a power hitter, so he had a lower average, but a very respectable 291 career average, and 353 career home runs. Tony Gwynn, these are Eddie Murray started, quite a few years before, 5 years before Gwynn, so his overall stats are going to be much different. But at this point, 1990, Tony Gwynn had only hit 45 home runs, so he was definitely a high average. But look at that, he led the league in batting average, so we give him a batting title for that league every year. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 batting titles at this point in his career, which is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons in, and only 6 of those were full seasons. So, I guess I was kind of wrong. I mean, they are both exceptionally good hitters. You see, Eddie Murray had a number of seasons over 300, which is pretty outstanding, especially if you can hit 30 plus home runs, which he did a number of times. But Eddie Murray just had much more pop than Gwynn. Okay, well, there you have it. That's all I'm going to do for these guys. I've been wanting to get into those packs for a while. So glad I finally had a chance, and glad the stars finally showed up there towards the last few packs. So hope you guys appreciate that little throwback. As always, hope you're doing well. Let me know if there's any requests you have. I know I've got quite a few requests for going through like cards of a certain baseball team. I'm happy to do those videos. If you want me to put together like a lot for you, like a $30 lot, a $40 lot, $50 lot, or maybe you want like a $100 lot, I can do a video of that. And then if you want to buy it, cool. If you don't, no problem. But just let me know what you want in terms of a lot, and I will try to put something together on a video. And if you're interested, you can buy it. Okay,